Right. I'd like you to look at example 1, identify a possible number pattern, then give the next 3 numbers in the pattern. So in example 1, we're giving 3 terms. We have 7, 12, and 17. It looks like the pattern is adding because the numbers are increasing. So to get from a 7 to a 12 and then a 12 to a 17, I would need to add 5. I want to consider my other operations, multiply, divide, subtract, or maybe even a combination. But in this one, it seems that it is an add pattern because each term is increasing by 5. So go ahead and write the next 3 numbers. And hopefully you got the same as I did, 27 or 22, 27, and 32. Our next pattern I'd like you to fill in with me. We're starting with 32. The second term is 16. The next term is 8. So this time our numbers are decreasing. It looks like maybe if I go from 13 to 16, that could be minus 16. Another way to get from 32 to 16 would be dividing in half, or multiplying by 1/2, but dividing in half. So I want to look at both of these possibilities, and when I look at the first one, subtract 16 does work, but 16 minus 16 is not 8, so I'm going to cross that idea off. Divide by 2, 32 divided by 2 is 16, 16 divided by 2 is 8. So that is my pattern, and please pause and continue with the next 3. And half of 8 is 4, half of 4 is 2, half of 2 is 1. If I continued this, I could have fractions. Half of 1 is a half, half of a half is a fourth, and so on. All right. Our second example asks us to identify a possible geometric pattern. I'm going to look at what I see here. Heart, star, triangle, star, heart, star, triangle, star. Well, what I'm noticing is there are 4 shapes in my pattern, and then they're starting over again and repeating. So my pattern is heart, star, triangle, star, repeating. Therefore, the next 3 figures will be the first 3 in that series of 4. Heart, star, triangle. For this example, I'd like you to pause, shade in the sectors as you see I did here, and then restart. You don't have to color it perfectly, just get them shaded in. Okay, let's take a look at this pattern. What I notice is this top sector is shaded in. This was the one that was shaded in the previous term, and now I see that it's jumped 3 spots. If I think of 1, 2, 3 spots to that one. Here's where it was in the previous one, and we have 1, 2, 3 jumps here. So the pattern is that the sector is rotating 3 spots clockwise each term. So write that in under the pattern is. Again, the sector rotates clockwise 3 spots each term. And the last thing we need to do is illustrate what the next 3 figures will be. So go ahead and pause, shade them in, and see if yours matches mine. All right, your shading should look like this. And let's go on to our last example. In this example, we're going to use a table to help us analyze a pattern. We're going to be making a conjecture. Please write in the definition here. A conjecture, shorthand we'd say, is like a math hypothesis, an educated prediction based on what we see about the math. So here we're looking at our pattern. It says complete the table showing the number of triangles in each figure. Then make a conjecture about the number of triangles in the 5th figure of the pattern. Use drawings to justify your answer. justifying your answer is like proving it. So we're going to illustrate that at the end. So figure 1 has 2 triangles. So I'm going to put that right here. Figure 1 has 2 triangles. Figure 2, I notice, has 4 triangles. Figure 3 has 6. So you may notice, as far as the pattern of number of triangles, we can see that the number of triangles in each term is increasing by 2. So my conjecture would be that the 4th figure would have 8 triangles and the 5th figure would have 10. I'm going to draw it now to see if that works. A good way to draw this would be to trace the previous term and then paste it down there. So down in this area, I'm going to draw that. You can pause and draw yours. So here I've duplicated pattern figure 3. And what I'm noticing is from figure 1 to figure 2, those 2 added triangles seem to be right here and right here. So they've added 1 on top and 1 off to the side. If I find figure 2 here, it would be 3 along the bottom and 1 on the top. Again, I can see they added 1 off to the side on the top and 1 off to the side on the bottom. So this would be figure 4. And go ahead and pause and make figure 5. So here I've created figure 5 by duplicating figure 4 and adding 2 triangles. And let's count them and see if it justifies 10 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It does. So the pattern is add 2 triangles each term.